Hello and welcome to our BizzyWebinar. We're going to talk about feedback and surveys today. I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. You can join us live by going to the following places. You can go to BizzyWeb.com, click on the link that's at the bottom of the page, and scroll down. I'll take you there myself. If we go in here and you scroll, let me get away from that. If you go down to the bottom here, there's BizzyWebinar Online Surveys. If you go there, that's going to take you into the events page, which will then take you into this surveys page. And if you go in, you'll see that there's a bunch of directions on here. And in order to join us, you can either follow the following things. You can go to our Google Hangout to interact with us free. You can go to our Google Plus page to connect up. Let me hit pause here. This is started right now. That's where it's going to go. And so you'll see this information live on the event. So if you go in here, you can click on this, or you can just stream the video here. If you would like to join us, when you click on this play button, you can actually go to the real link. And of course, that's here as well. And so when you get in, you'll be able to join and ask questions and answers, or and receive answers, live during the event as well. I'm going to be stopping at occasional spots to collect your questions. So if you are on the webinar or the Hangout, and if you click on the page, you're going to see a page like this, and it'll say, be the first to ask a question. It'll appear below. I'm actually going to ask the first question. Ask questions here. So if you click that, I will see that there's a question live, and we'll be able to answer that as we go. As we do each week, we'll go through just a couple of brief things as we connect up here. Talk about BizzyWeb. We are an online marketing company that does everything online, including and especially WordPress-powered web design that's designed to integrate seamlessly with social media and your email marketing. As part of our email marketing, we're going to talk through what Constant Contact makes available in your online surveys. So as part of the new Constant Contact, you can do newsletters and announcements, offers and promotions, today, feedback and surveys, and of course, events and registrations. We've talked about each of those in the past, but today I'm specifically going to talk about how to get feedback using the survey tool, and we're going to talk about best practices of surveys more than anything. So this is by no means a Constant Contact sales pitch, although I do have a really cool opportunity available at the end of the webinar. So hang on with us, and I'll give you a code to get Constant Contact for 40% off for the next 3 months. So as we get rolling, let's start moving forward as fast as possible. Again, as a reminder, be sure to log your questions at the Google Hangout. Easiest way is probably to just go to BizzyWeb or google.com/+BizzyWeb and click on the link that says Q&A, and you'll be able to ask those questions. You do need to be logged into Google Plus in order to do that, but that's how to get where we're going. All right. So, as we all know, at its core, marketing is really about eliciting a response. What you're looking for is connecting up with people that can help you to do what you want. We're going to create campaigns with our surveys and our feedback, and what campaigns do is you push content out to your connections, and that lets you pull a response, and in this case, you're pushing questions out and getting back insights. So we'll talk through a bunch of things on that today. But of course, as we go through our agenda, first we're going to talk about what are surveys, polls, reviews, and why you should do them. Next up, how to structure your survey and how to plan good questions, how to get those important questions out, when to send them and who to send them out to, how to target folks, and then how to do results and follow-up, followed by, of course, what's next. So let's get right in to what and why on online marketing and surveys. It's really important to just listen to your customers and to your prospects if you want to get any better. There's an old saying that marketing is measurement, and if you're not measuring, you're not really doing any marketing. And so it's important to just keep your ear to the ground and find out what people are saying and doing and how you can serve them better. You're going to find out a lot from those questions. For example, you'll learn that perhaps your customers would spend more if your customer service was better, or if you could tell if they'd be willing to tell their friends about you if they have a good experience, and they don't really care about prices if the experience is great. Your results, of course, will vary to this, but the point is you won't know unless you ask and unless they give you that feedback. It's really important to understand and know your objective inside of all online surveys. So what do you need to do to make your business more successful? If there's one thing that you can do, make sure that you're asking that question and be focused about it, because as we'll cover in a little bit, the more targeted you can be and the fewer questions you ask, the more likely you are to get real responses. Every question that you ask should really have a great positive possible action associated with it. So as far as knowing your objective, here's some do's and don'ts. First, to look for if people read your Facebook posts. Well, you already know that. How about find out if your Facebook fans prefer pictures or links to articles? If they like your product, big whoop. Do they think your homestyle OJ is better, more or less better than other brands? And did they like your event? Big whoop. Who knows, and what does that really mean? Instead, maybe did they like the layout of the venue? Or was the program too short, too long? Or would they have liked a buffet instead of that plated dinner you put together for them? So let's look at a scenario. So if your customers are looking if you're looking to see if your customers and supporters are using social media, that's okay. Perhaps a better objective would really be to identify how you can use social media to better engage with your customers. So the sample question that you might ask, what social platforms do you use? And so you're going to let them answer that, and then based on their response, you could refocus your social media strategy on your most popular channel. Now, a little side note here, you probably don't want to abandon other social channels if you get good results for one. There's no way to really tell if that's what every one of your clients expects. You're just taking a sample size. But B, folks likely engage in more than one. And if they're looking for articles, pictures of friends, or jokes, whatever. And then after you get that feedback from them, you can develop content that's great for them and use that in your posts, and also use those results to build content for your newsletter. Another question might be, how often do you expect to see new content posted? What do your questions, or what do your social media followers like to see? Is it going to be daily? Is it going to be 2 to 3 a week or more? Develop a posting strategy to match that desired frequency. Here's another scenario. One good objective is, I want to figure out how to get more people to your events. Maybe a better objective would be survey past registrants that didn't show up and figure out what would encourage them to attend. So knowing that, here's a couple of sample questions. To which area would you most likely travel to and attend an event? In the city, the western suburbs, Minneapolis proper, whatever you wanted to say. After you get that info back, you're going to investigate possible venue opportunities in the best or most popular location. Another scenario, what kind of entertainment would you be most interested to see? And then use your local network to find talent. Another objective might be to help you figure out how to get more people to your events, and survey those past registrants and figure out what would encourage them to attend. And at what time of day are you most likely to attend would be a good option as well, and develop a venue strategy and pricing based on those responses. So if people are okay with a $50 a plate event, that's fine, but make sure that you're hitting the right time, the right place, and the right budget for the people that you're trying to reach. If you want to get people to your events again and survey past registrants and figure out what they're doing, again, what you could do is just bridge out and reach out to them. So that's like event feedbacks. So there's a few other different kinds of feedback in events. The first one is surveys, so getting information out through social media or email and getting that feedback and using it. These can be longer, they could be up to 10 or so questions, but again, they don't have to be too terribly long. So that's surveys. Polls, big, quick info or insight. This is 1 or 2 questions tops. Quick insight, pushed out through email on your website or in social media. What's your favorite X, Y, or Z? And then reviews are another great way to get types of feedback. Asking for feedback on a specific product or experience, or asking readers to rate your organization directly on a review site would be great options for those types of outreach. So we know what we're doing. Now let's talk about how to structure our surveys and our review and our polls and pick the types of questions that we're trying to reach out for. First, there's all kinds of reasons to do a survey, so you have to gauge your content to match that. Whether it's a profile for your customers to figure out your customer experience or gauge satisfaction, to help guide events, which we've already talked through a little bit, and to gauge real relevance. The key thing is that if you've got a lot of questions, you're going to see fewer responses the more questions you have. So make sure that you have good questions, that you keep it as short as possible, and that you really ask targeted questions, and we'll talk about that in a moment. On questions, probably a good option would be to make sure that you have as many closed-ended questions as possible. Those closed-ended questions are easy to answer. They tend to be easy to analyze and allow you to compare and perhaps do before and after or see if there's trend changes. And they ensure that you have clear and balanced scales. So if you have open-ended questions, you can do them, but they're not very limited by options. They do provide those deeper insights, but they are much harder to analyze. And if you have a lot of open-ended questions, people aren't going to respond to your survey because people don't have 20 minutes or an hour to fill out a lengthy survey for you. Unless they're really, really in-depth and excited about working with you, or you give them some huge incentive to do so. But even so, it's a lot more work for you if people fill out open-ended questions. So don't use too many of those open-ended questions. For different tips, here's some good and bad. Here's kind of a bad one. How would you rate the career of legendary outfielder Joe DiMaggio? And that's a leading question, right? So how about this? How would you rate Joe DiMaggio's career? Are you very dissatisfied, or are you very satisfied or very dissatisfied with us? That's only 2 options, and that limits the type of evaluation. So overall, how satisfied are you with us? And then here's the trick on that. Make sure that it's a scale so that it's an open, or so that it's a closed-ended question. Give them 1 through 5, 1 being not at all happy, 3 being neutral, and 5 being extremely happy. What suggestions do you have for improving Tom's tomato juice? That's very general. So what we're going to do is try to drill down a little bit more, and what suggestions do you have for improving the taste of Tom's tomato juice? That's a little bit more specific. Even better might be, looking for specific guidelines. Is Tom's tomato juice too salty, or how would you rate the thickness of Tom's tomato juice? Here's more question tips. What'd you think of the service? It's really hard to compare results if people like it or not like it. So did you find the service to be? And then give them 3 or 4 choices. Speedy, helpful, inattentive, lazy, whatever you want to say. How would you rate the food and the entertainment at our event? It's kind of a double-barreled question. You're really asking 2 things. So let's make that 2 questions. How would you rate the food, and how would you rate the entertainment? And then don't use jargon and abbreviations. So how well did the RDD explain the use of CTAs to drive CTs? I don't even know what all those mean. How effectively did the speaker explain calls to action? That's a much more detailed and correct question that lets people tie in without confusing them on what the heck you're asking about. So here's a few big tips then. Make your first question very easy to answer. You want to get people started on answering, and people are going to make an adjustment or make the decision to fill out your survey when they see that very first question. So make it easy. Place your most important questions right up front so that you understand what's happening and that you get them before they drop off, because a lot of times if people run out of time, they might abandon the survey altogether, or they'll just kind of click, click, click to get things done so that they can get on with their day. So get the important stuff up front, and then ask for demo information at the end. So explain why you need their name and their email address and all of that, and keep it simple. This too personal, and you don't need to make those questions mandatory if possible. You know, make sure that you do share that you're not going to share that information. So now that we know the types of tips, you know, how are the types of questions, how long is really long enough for a survey? Well, here's some things to do to keep it short. Just don't ask questions that are not relevant, and don't ask 2 questions if 1 is enough, and don't ask too many open-endeds. That feels longer. If you have a 3 open-ended question survey, that can feel a lot longer than a 10-question closed answer survey. So make sure that you ask that, and don't try to dig in and get big brotherish and ask too many demographic questions. You know, just get what you need, but don't get greedy and ask for too much, because people are going to freak out and wonder why you're asking all these crazy questions. And then if you're wondering how long, make sure that you're going less than 10 to 12 questions. Make multiple choice questions as much as possible, and limit open-ended questions to really no more than 3. So if you're looking at this, if you guarantee and you share them, or share with them that they could take that it'll take 5 to 8 minutes to take this survey, they'll look and they'll say, you know, I've got 15 minutes to my next appointment, so I can fit in this 5 to 8 minute survey. Make sure that you verify that by taking the survey yourself. If it takes you 10 minutes to do it, it's going to take somebody else 15. So make sure that you're taking that into account, and respect the folks that you're trying to ask to take your survey, because that's what they need to do. They're spending time to share valuable feedback with them, so don't make them jump through unnecessary hoops or make it too tough, or they simply won't do it. So now that we know our structure and our questions, let's get into when and who. Do want to take a quick side note and let people ask questions. So again, if you're in the Hangout, if you've gone to google.com/plusbusyweb by clicking over on our page, you'll get to this page pronto, and you'll be able to ask questions. Would love to see you ask those questions if you do have questions about surveys. That's why we are here. And so if you do have that, be sure to take note, and I'll keep checking back occasionally as we go through. So as we go into, let's talk about when and who to target that survey with. First off, when to survey. If you need to know something, or post it right after every interaction. So if you have regularly scheduled events or meetings, you know, maybe pushing that out in different times so that it's scheduled at a different, or scheduled at regular intervals. People will know to understand that, and then you'll know if something has changed. These are like 6 months apart, so you'll know if you'll be able to start to spot trend lines, especially if you're asking the right questions. So we know when. How about now who? Categorize your audience. So you're going to want to think about who you're going to be reaching out to. Are you going to be connecting with regular customers? Well, if you're just connecting with regular customers, you may be missing seasonal customers or supporters. You want to also make sure that you're getting a hold of your VIPs, and then fun stuff, you want to actually connect out with new folks. So make sure that you segment your audience into all of the different sections, and you can ask them slightly different questions, or maybe get more detailed for the VIPs or the folks that are regular customers. For the brand new customers, you're probably going to want to ask things that are a little bit more general, or that get the feedback from their perspective. So think about who they are as you're asking those questions, and tailor your surveys to match. As you segment your audience, you might want to think about a timeline associated with that. So maybe in January you give a longer survey to the entire group, and then maybe in May you're going to do a little short survey of a small segment of that group, or maybe do some short surveys of small segments of the entire team or the entire group, but make sure that multiple people, or that one person only fits in one category. If you're going to send it out to multiples, you don't want to send a person 3 or 4 surveys, because they're not going to respond. And then September, you'll send another short survey or a small segment of the group. So we got that. Let's go into how to get this rubber to the road and how to make sure that people really understand and that you understand what your surveys are doing. Let's talk about that results and follow-up. First, in order to get better results on a survey, make sure that you spread the word. Use social media, use emails, use text marketing, do whatever you can to publicize that survey. Of course, the survey tool inside of Constant Contact makes it very easy to email and actually to reach out via tools like Facebook. But make sure that you're linking to this on your website, connect up regularly, ask people in person, make sure that you're connecting up and reaching out to them in order to get the results that you want. The key thing is you're probably going to be hurrying up and then waiting. 50% or so of survey responses come back the first day, so you're going to know pretty much how many people are going to show up just by doubling after the first day. 88% of responses will be submitted in the first week, and then pretty much within the first 2 weeks is enough time to leave that survey open to maximize responses. Consider sending out a day or two before the survey ends a last-minute reminder to say, hey, this is your last chance to give us that feedback. We'd really love it. And again, if you really want results, don't be shy about offering them an incentive. For example, with some of our more urgent surveys, we'll offer the opportunity to win something like Busy Bucks, for example, or some sort of a free or special offer to people if they fill out our survey. Once they get their survey done, or once you get the survey done, make sure that you let them see that their survey was complete by offering an easy close page, and then send them back to your website where perhaps you could have that special offer. So if you are offering a special incentive, get them right over to that. Don't make them hop through different things or make them wait for an email to see it. Just shoot them right over as part of your survey, and this can all be done through the Constant Contact tool. It's very, very simple and easy to get the results that you're looking for when you use great tools. The key is your results really should inspire your action. This is where the rubber hits the road again, so once you get back your feedback, don't forget to review and analyze, and then spot your trends, and probably most importantly, create an action plan to answer and improve your results so that people know what next steps to take or that you're getting better. Follow up with people to share with them that you are taking action, and then survey again. Like we mentioned before, maybe every 6 months you're going to want to do a customer retention and satisfaction survey and make sure that you are moving in the right trends. If the things that you had identified in step 3 here are actually moving, as far as, is the needle moving on what you're trying to accomplish. As you look at your stats and data, make sure that you're reaching out and connecting. All of this stuff should be an easy and connected way to reach out to your folks. So, make sure that your staff is ready to redeem or honor those coupons. Collect those sign-up lists at the redemption. Collect information about the experience with the deal, and use those same tools to follow up. Email, social media, surveys. Keep the feedback loop open and connected. Again, as we mentioned in our step 3 from a slide ago, you're going to want to create an action plan from that result. So make sure that you connect out and introduce new services, products, or programs if it makes sense. Take that step to improve your website if that's the communication that you're getting. Make your communications more relevant if you're hearing back that your communications aren't really relevant to the people that you're trying to reach. Maybe if you see that something is very attractive or that you're not connecting with folks in a specific way, use that to attract new customers, clients, or donors by adjusting your approaches. And then segment out your audience so that you can get better targets. So once you know who those people are that are responding, you can segment them into the type of customer that they are. Again, if they're VIPs or if they're brand new customers or if they're regular customers or perhaps only seasonal, you're going to want to approach them in slightly different ways. The goal here is to engage everyone in conversation. So as a reminder, we're going to push questions, but then we're going to be asking for insights. The key then after that is after you get those insights, share your results. So tell them thank you, tell them what they need to know, and get everything out there so that they understand that you're listening, that the time that they spent on this survey made sense, and that they really got what they intended to get when they filled out that survey, that you are improving your products and services, and you're a company that they want to continue to work with. Let's go into next steps. I want to give one more chance to ask questions, so if you do have a couple of questions here, go ahead and ask those. You can also submit them into sales@BizzyWeb.com. We have operators standing by. Or again, be sure to join the Hangout after the halfway point here, and we will allow you to ask questions live on the Hangout via video chat. So if you have other questions, be sure to connect out with us. So what are those next steps? Here's some practical advice on taking surveys. Use consistent branding, personalize your branding, and personalize the survey. Be sure to use people's names, be sure to connect out. This is where segmenting really comes in handy. The more you can dig in and deliver something that's intended for that specific person, the more excited they're going to be about responding, and the better your results are going to be. Be sure that you clearly state your purpose and any incentives that you have for people to submit. You'll be entered for a chance to win a new car or whatever, and specify how long that survey is going to take. Again, shoot for 5 to 8 minutes on a 10 to 12 question survey, with maybe 3 open-ended questions max, in order to get the best results. Make sure that you inform your clients of confidentiality, that you're not going to be sharing this information with anyone other than your team or other than your company, and clearly display what the call to action is at the last slide. So what do you want them to do? Why do you want them to do it? Be very clear on your closing date, and then when people do include or fill out that survey, thank them for their completion. Make people feel like they're part of helping your organization improve. This is really important if you want to have continued success with surveys and feedback. In order to get started, start small. Just do a single item poll on your website via social media, and then grow it to 2 or 3 questions and start delivering them via your newsletter. So just take itty-bitty little surveys and embed them right on there. The Constant Contact tool set has easy ways to embed those surveys into your site. You can build up to 10 to 12 questions using different question types. Again, as few open-ended questions as possible, and make sure that you're keeping it short and simple. Share those results with your respondents, and send out additional pulse surveys to smaller segments throughout the year. So find out if you are actually moving that needle. Send them smaller things. If you want to get more detail, go off of respondents that said, heck yes, we love you, and find out why they love you or what you can do more of. Find out the people that don't like or that didn't like a specific thing that you did, and share with them that you're trying to change it, and ask them for their feedback and see what they do. The key is to keep it interesting, keep it short, and make sure that it actually serves your business purposes in order to have it be a useful use of your time. We do have a couple of things that I want to share with you here. We're right at the halfway point, so I want to make sure to respect your time. And be sure to get a free trial to fill out and visit the following form. Just go to constantcontact.com. Here's where it gets crazy. You have to do /index.jsp $PN equals BizzyWeb. So I'll let you jot that down if you want. If you do that, you're going to get a free trial from BizzyWeb on Constant Contact, where you'll be able to use surveys right away. I'll explain to you what the differences are and the different options in just a moment, but that's what you want. Plans for just email start at $20 a month, start at $45 a month for the entire toolkit, which includes surveying and social media outreach and a bunch of other cool stuff, which again I'll cover in just a moment. But this is your cool key. The other thing is, as part of a kind of Cyber Week kind of outreach, we're offering 40% off your registration for the first 3 months if you sign up right now. So again, free trial, 40% off for the first 3 months, and we'll also set up a homepage or an email template based off of your website for free as part of working with BizzyWeb as well. So if you visit that form, Fill out that note. We'll get you right to what you're looking for, and we'll help you get started with Constant Contact to start using surveys today. It's quick, easy, and cheap. Basic, again, with just email campaigns is $20 a month. $45 a month is Essential. Again, you can take 40% off of that for the first 3 months as part of a special that we're running right now. And then, my team is actually reminding me you need to use the promo code CM14 to get the 40% off. And so just type in CM14 when you register to get the 40% off for the first 3 months. So make sure that you check that out. If you're wondering what the difference between all of these is, here's the basics. The basic stuff is just emails. You can send unlimited email campaigns, and that's $20 a month. The Essential, the toolkit, has plus campaigns, so you can send campaigns that include surveys and social media outreach as part of Essential and Ultimate. They have list building and contact management tools built into all three, as well as coaching and support. If you're looking for more in-depth coaching, I'll cover that in a moment, but you get image and file storage of 2 gigs with the Essential kit, integrated reporting, social sharing and tracking, campaign design, autoresponders, so if someone signs up for a list or connects with you, you can actually send them an auto-response email to engage with them and perhaps send them a couple of them in order to deepen your relationship with someone right off the bat and start moving them into your funnel, your lead sales funnel. And then with the Ultimate solution for $195 a month, you also get a personal marketing coach that you can speak with and use at your leisure in order to grow your business. So very, very slick. Here's what it looks like on a basic account. So if you're using the email account, you can see that you can create emails. You can opt into creating a survey through a new event to get you up to that new thing or to the new section. But once we get into the emails and the surveys, this is what Toolkit looks like. So as you see, you can go into campaigns, essentials, surveys, and all of these tools are available. You have to pay a little extra per event if you have the basic account. So $45 a month is really just dirt cheap for what you get out of all this. And here's what those surveys can look like. You can customize your campaign, and again, BizzyWeb will customize your email campaigns and your email template for free as part of this deal. And all you need to do to get the first 4 months or the first 3 months for 40% off is to use CM14 when you register by going back to that link. And again, if you're wondering what that link was, it is index.jsp pn $PN equals BizzyWeb for that constantcontact.com link. So go there, check us out, and be sure to request that because it's a screaming deal and it's a wonderful way to get caught up. In summary, BizzyWeb does web design, and we build the best darn WordPress-powered websites out there. We integrate all of our websites with social media so that when you publish to your website takes the heavy lifting and publishes out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, and also connects and drives emails to your clients on a regular basis. If you want a regular email newsletter, with BizzyWeb you can use your website to power all of that and then simply go in and click publish once a month. We do the best darn web hosting for WordPress-powered websites, so if you already have a WordPress-powered website but you need to upgrade your hosting, we include 3 hours of service and support each year, and that's coaching and troubleshooting as well as locking down security. There was a new security item that was discovered just last week, and we rolled out the patch to that before any of our customers were affected at all. And so if you want someone to be your active partner in making sure that your website is running smoothly and does what it needs to do, check out Busy Hosting. And then we also have online marketing programs to help you reach out, connect, and grow your business. Whether you want to get more leads into your business, promote your products or services, deepen relationships with existing customers, or just rank better, we can help you do that with the Buzz Builders program. Finally, remember to join us every Wednesday. We talked about online surveys today. Next week, we're going to talk about what makes a good social media post. So we'll help you find and connect details and connect the dots on what makes a good Facebook post, what makes a good LinkedIn connection, what makes a good outreach campaign via your website to go across all of your social networks all at once. And then on the 17th, we're going to cover the 2014 year in review. I'm going to cover what big things happened in social media and online marketing, give you an idea of where we're going, and the first week of the year we're actually going to cover that in more depth, where I'm going to cover my predictions for 2015. So make sure that you register by going to BizzyWeb.com/events and checking that out. One last reminder, if you've not yet gone to BizzyWeb.com/buzz to fill out a Buzz Report request form, that's a great option to figure out what you're doing well that you could then take to the next level. So we'll help you, and we'll look at what your website looks like, if it's mobile responsive, how your search engine optimization looks, how your email marketing and your social media is looking, and we'll give you real-world concrete results or recommendations to take your marketing to the next level. You can take that to your existing provider if you want, but of course we'd hope you work with us. There's no obligation involved in the BizzyWeb Buzz Report, but would love to have you check that out. Again, I am Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. We don't have any questions yet, so I think I'm going to close down the Hangout. This is a reminder that if you would like to join us, just go back to that post and click on Google Hangout right here to join us live. I will be hanging on for just a few more minutes to see how things are going. If you're shy, you don't want to be on the YouTube channel recording, this is a great way, because when I click Stop Broadcast, it's going to publish this part to YouTube, and then the next portion is going to be just you and me talking about anything that you have questions on. So if you'd like to get your questions answered on any aspect of online marketing, now's your chance. Just click on Google Hangout to join me live at this Hangout and ask those questions live. Again, I'm Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll talk to you next week. And remember, at BizzyWeb, we help you generate buzz without getting stung.